Just when we thought the Kanye presidency was over, he pulls us back in. Plus, we got a lot of Epstein talk with Ghislaine Maxwell on this episode of the Anthony On Air podcast. Thanks so much for joining us. You see, Jay Sams is here co-hosting today, and we're off and running. So Kanye, quite hilariously, says he's going to no longer run for president. We do an entire podcast episode about it last episode, and then
give him praise.
15 minutes later, is like, no, I'm gonna keep it going, and then actually holds a rally, and quite hilariously says a lot of insane shit in that rally. What was your personal? What was your? Did you see some of the clips?
I didn't. I heard about it though.
Okay,
tell me.
This was hilarious. He is a performer. He's a hip hop artist, recording master. Comes to a rally, no microphone, no sound system. Just walks into a room and starts shouting.
I love it.
So in half the videos online, you can't even understand what he's saying. By far, the absolute number one with a bullet on the charts, topping the list of insane shit that Kanye West said is that Harriet Tubman did not help free the slaves.
Yes.
She just got the black people to work for other white people.
Like what?
Yeah.
Okay.
My personal favorite, because this puts the insane cherry on top of the crazy sundae. My personal favorite is not that one. It's that he said that he wanted to abort the first child that he had with Kim. Hold on a second. Let me get the right phraseology here. He said he originally wanted his first child with Kim terminated before changing his mind after having a message from God. Here's a guy I want running our country more than anything.
Well, let me ask you something.
Yes.
Have you seen like the church things that they do in like the desert?
No.
Okay. They gather up about maybe between 100 and 200 people.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this like big tent. And it's just weirdness. They've been doing it for years though.
They all
like one of the Kardashians will like post it.
Oh, you mean Kanye?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I have seen, his Sunday sermon stuff. I've seen some of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was.
Go back and say that he's insane.
I didn't realize it was in the desert. Yeah,
it's somewhere weird.
He's one of those guys that he borders. People are gonna not like this, but he kind of a musical genius. He's kind of made some really. I mean, I've said this before. He's made some really good songs, and when you're bordering, so it's like a race car. You know, sometimes when you're going so fast, you just blow out that engine, and you don't realize what a fine line super fast and explosion is. And it's the same shit with Kanye.
Some people, I read this article once that he's bipolar.
Yes.
People have said that.
Yeah.
People said that he borders like ADHD because he's very smart.
Yes.
But like you said, these outbursts.
He's got these crazy.
Whoa, where'd that come from?
Well, we talked about the Letterman interview, didn't we? And
yes.
In that interview, he was like, he admitted that he's gotten off his medication because he's like, the medication wasn't good for me. But
did he say he was bipolar though in that interview?
I
can't remember.
I don't remember what he said. I just remember him talking a lot about coming off of the medication because it was actually worse for him.
Yes.
Which is very interesting for any patient in any case with anything to self-diagnose themselves and go, you know what, the medication's not working for me.
I've had a lot of experience with that.
Have you?
As you know, at my previous job.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry if you're watching. Definitely not watching. But, right, when a certain person would come off his medication, whoa.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah.
But like you said, a lot of people do this. Because they're like, oh, I'm okay, fine. And then they're not fine.
Well, the weird thing is mental illness, it's not like diabetes where it's like, hey, guess what? The diet and everything is doing great, so we could take you off the diet. You don't have another test to back up what the person is saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where in these things, it's like, how are you feeling? They're the only gauge, and they're the ones dealing with the issues. So it's so hard to be like, you know what? I don't need my medicine anymore. You're kind of like, well, there's no other way of getting that that assurance. That's the thing.
It happens with a lot of people though. Like they get to a point where they're like, you know what? I'm okay. I don't need this.
Yeah.
And then they come off of it, and then that's it.
Yeah.
It's like a vicious cycle.
I don't have a ton of experience with this, but I do have a little bit, like some people I know. And there's been, I could think of one person right off the bat that was kind of better off without it. That they were going through a rough time, and then they came off it. And
Do you know that person?
No, you don't know the person. And they wound up being better off without it. And they're just fine today. It was whatever it was back then. And I don't even know them all that well, so I don't know what, all the ins and outs of it all. But and then there's other times where there's times where I deal with people and I'm kind of like, where they fluctuate so much personality wise, and you're like, are you on something? And did it change? Because I feel like I'm not talking to the same person anymore.
Right.
Yes. I definitely have that.
I have a few people like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But out of all the things that we're going to pick on from Kanye, I really feel like we're overlooking this lack of a microphone thing, because I feel like that's an easy one. You should have had that there.
Look at that thing in front of you.
Yeah.
And you're just on Long Island radio.
Yeah, this is not, by the way, Best Buy sells microphones these days. There's no excuse not to have a microphone at a rally event or some sort of, and I don't even know who was invited, like how people got there. I don't even know how it all got put together.
It's a whole underground world.
All I know is, and then I thought, so we did the last episode and we were talking about him pulling out because he did have a campaign manager. He did literally hire a campaign manager, and the campaign manager said, we're evaluating things, but it's not looking good. And then that turned into, he's staying in this quote unquote race. And
wait, he's still in the race?
Well,
you don't know.
He's not going to officially be on. I don't know if he's trying to get on any ballots. I just heard that he can't get on North Carolina's ballot. That's out. And he's missed a bunch of others' deadlines. You can still write him in any state. So you can still technically run for president without being on a ballot.
Definitely writing his name in, by the way.
I think a lot of people are. That's the scary part.
Here's the thing, though. Do you think that we're going to have to go in person? We can't do the mail-in, right? Because then the Russians will get us again.
I don't know. Oh, Kanye is just, this is a nice tweet from Kanye. He drew a little White House and wrote Vision above it.
Aw.
That's adorable. See? Now, can we make him happy by just putting that all on our refrigerators across the country? Do we have to, because that'll be...
See, I do have a love-hate relationship with him. I have to admit.
Okay.
I really do. And maybe I love to hate him.
What is it? Tell me, what is it?
Well, yes, musical genius for sure. The whole Taylor Swift thing annoyed me.
Okay.
And I'm not even a big Taylor Swift fan. Just he's very cocky. But like you said, he suffers with something, so that's why he is the way he is.
See, my thing is I fell in love with him before I knew he was suffering with anything. So I just thought he was a cocky son of a bitch. I thought he was just.
But you like him?
I like people who play the villain sometimes, Sometimes you just like the villain. Sometimes we root for Wesley Snipes and Demolition Man. Shit happens. You know what I mean?
Boy, that's really aging us right now.
Yeah, it really is.
The millennials are like, who is Wesley Snipes?
I watched that movie, by the way. It did not age well. It just does not. There's really cheesy lines in that movie. But so I always thought he was just playing up this character. That's what I always thought it was. And then when he started really going off the rails with stuff, I did not love the Taylor Swift thing, to be honest with you. I didn't love it. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was. It's interesting because from one perspective, Had he said that stuff in an interview afterwards, like that's bullshit, like she shouldn't have won, Beyonce should have won,
Different story.
I would have loved that. Because I hate when you go to these award shows and they're all like, "Oh, I love this one and they did such a good job," and it's so boring. So for somebody to be like, "Hey, that person wasn't that good and this person should have won," that would have been amazing. But the fact that he like went up on stage and did that whole thing, I thought it was a little disrespectful.
Yes, I agree.
Because he wouldn't have liked that if somebody pulled that shit on him.
No, definitely not.
I did love this, the clip in which he talks about Harriet Tubman, the girl who's filming it. Her reaction is so priceless. It's so like I thought it was almost added in afterwards, which you can do now on TikTok and things like that. But this is exactly what happened. Here's her reaction.
So that's a Stephen move. When Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people.
Y'all, we leaving right now.
So that's
I feel like she's not getting enough
No
accolades.
She was like, yeah, we leaving right now.
Like it was instant. Like she said it instantly. It was crazy.
Man.
I do this for a living and I don't even have that timing. Like that was still 0.3 of a second faster than I was comfortable with. She's great.
Yeah, we're leaving.
She's like, "Oh, we're leaving right now." I thought that was fantastic. I don't know who that is because so many people have tweeted that video. It's impossible to give her credit. I don't even know. It could be Tony,
Really?
spelled Knee. It could be TOI Island. I don't know. It's hard to. Even the big organizations are all crediting different people with it, so
Okay, so
it's hard to tell where it all came from. But
I actually took it.
What?
I actually took that video.
It was shitty. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird things where there's no way I'm not a mental health professional. I don't know, but it's and the problem is it's endlessly entertaining. This is going to be we're talking about it. Other news outlets are going to talk about it.
No one.
It's going to be a wave. I think a lot of people are going to write him in because they're going to be like, well, screw it. Like you look at a state like New York that's always going to go Democrat, they're going to probably be like, those people who feel like people who live in states where they feel like their votes don't count, you're going to see
like New York.
You're going to see a lot of votes go towards Kanye.
Well, mark my words. I'm voting for him.
Is that official? We can count that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Don't tell one of our friends, who.
I feel like all of our friends are going to be upset. The people who love Biden are going to be pissed, and the people who love Trump are going to be pissed.
No, we're not friends with people who like Biden, do we?
Oh, yeah.
Are we?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, that like genuinely like him? No, I don't know if anybody genuinely likes any of these people. I feel like even the people who say they like Trump don't really genuinely like him. They just love to upset liberal people.
Yes.
I think if you asked any Trump supporter,
it is kind of funny.
Yeah, I think if you asked any Trump supporter, if you could still upset liberal people and not have Donald Trump, would you take that trade? And they'd be like, "Yeah, sure, I'd sign up for that instantly."
Oh, God.
If somebody came along and out-Trumped Trump, like was like better at pissing off liberals and still like helped us out with our tax things, that person would win instantly. I just don't think anybody genuinely loves Trump. I'm pretty sure nobody genuinely loves Biden.
No.
He's just not Trump.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
Huh? President who?
You look like you're doing the show from a similar location to where Biden does all his
White House? What?
If I could be so bold, actually, your place looks a little nicer than President Biden's. And thank you for not having a bookshelf behind you, by the way. I really appreciate that. I'm sick of
What
this
do you mean?
bookshelf. Everybody who's doing these kinds of setups
Bookshelf.
nowadays, they got their bookshelf behind them with their fucking accolades and all the books that they read. Give me a break. You didn't read half that shit. Stop with the bookshelves. When did bookshelves become such a thing? By the way, it's 2020. Have you ever seen the Kindle? Like, stop putting bookshelves in houses. Enough is
I
enough.
have to tell you something. You're going to laugh at this.
Yeah.
Okay. I am a huge book reader. And I bought like hundreds of books. So when we moved from Howard Beach to Long Island, my mother begged me to throw them out, and I didn't. But I put them in this huge bag, and I made the other Sabatino, Anthony, carry them. And he was so mad. And you know when he gets mad, he's like, are you kidding me with these books? Come on. Funny enough, I was looking through these books today, and I'm like, should I throw them out? No, I'm not. Because if I move again, I'm going to make him move them again.
Now, where are these books? Are they properly displayed on a shelf somewhere, or are they in the bag, the same bag? Yeah, see?
They're actually in like a container, a bin. Yeah, he's definitely moving them again.
I want to speak to the architects and the interior designers of the world. Stop putting bookshelves and libraries. This is another thing. When you look at houses, there's a library, there's a personal study. Get the fuck. Stop putting that shit in houses. Blank walls. That's it. You want to display something? You can put a Kindle up hang a Kindle on the wall, and we can see all the books that pretend that you've read. Okay, I've had enough with these bookshelves.
It's like displaying DVDs and Blu-ray players now.
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Gaetano got rid of all of his.
It's funny because
we're throwing them out.
Your story about books is my story about DVDs. So you can see the intellect here. I just can't read.
See? You can't throw them out.
No, I did though. I threw them out.
Okay.
Yeah, I boxed. By the time I boxed them all up, I was like going to take them, and I was looking at this huge ass box, and I was like, Netflix should be catching up to technology sooner or later, and I tossed them all. And like 7 years later, I was right. I only had to wait 7 years to make that all happen. But what are you going to do?
You had them in the box for 7 years?
No, Netflix took Netflix like 7 years to get that streaming thing going. Remember the beginning? It was like for the first like year and a half, 2 years of Netflix, there was fucking nothing on there. It was nothing. And you still were like, oh, maybe they'll get real movies one day. It was a lot of B movies. A lot of fucking Pauly Shore in the beginning days. Let's talk about Ghislaine Maxwell, because why live for the rest of our natural lives?
I mean, hello.
This is crazy. Oh, but so by the way, so just to wrap up the Kanye thing, Kim put this picture up on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever, and everybody's going crazy because she's not commenting on any of the Kanye West stuff.
Of course she's not.
You got to think that she's not happy with this. I can't imagine the mother. I feel like the mom's a control freak. What's her name? I forgot. Karen Kardashian. I think.
Let's call her Karen.
Feels like it should be Karen though, right?
Oh, she is so annoying.
She can't be happy with this, with it unraveling and him talking about it. We should have aborted the baby and all this kind of jazz. And it's kind of clear that he's kind of, he's all over the place. So it's kind of clear that this is not organized and a fun thing to be doing, even if you're just going to promote an album and get out of it all. She can't be too happy, that Mama Kardashian.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
She's a psychopath too. So.
I know. It's like enough already. Enjoy your house. Look at the ocean for a little while. You don't have to
enjoy your billions.
Yeah, I don't get these people that keep working when they're billionaires. How does that? Doesn't make any sense to me. Ghislaine Maxwell. Here's the thing about her. A lot of her friends are talking now and giving interviews, and we're getting a lot of juicy, salacious information. Let's start with the super scary stuff, which is that this poor judge, her son and husband were killed.
Yep. Wait, I think the husband's okay.
Oh, the husband's okay.
The son was killed.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Son was killed. The husband was just shot. This was in their house, I think, in their home.
Mm-hmm.
This is 4 days before she was, or 4 days after she was assigned this Epstein Deutsche Bank case.
Come on.
I mean, that's the craziest thing. So now if you don't know about this, like Deutsche Bank is getting fined like $150 million for doing business with Jeffrey Epstein. You were going to say something, Janine.
So I read the story about this judge over the weekend.
Okay.
I had no idea it had to do with Jeffrey Epstein at all. And then after I read, I was like, that sounds like really weird. Like, it's like something's going to happen with the. And then it came out that it was that judge connected to the case.
So you had that. See, that's weird when you go through those moments. Like if you're hearing about this for the first time on the podcast, it's like, oh, what's the big deal? When you actually read it and then something happens, now you're in it. Like,
I was like, wait, what the hell?
So she took this case, and then 4 days later, somebody busts in her house, kills her son, shoots the husband. Was she in the house at the time?
She was in the basement. And I think he ran after that. After the son opened the door and he shot him a couple of times. And I think he shot the father too, or the husband.
Now, this came out just a little while ago that he killed himself, the guy who did it. Because this was from ABC's. This came from ABC's.
Come on, Sam. I'm watching you.
There you go. That's ABC 25 minutes ago. Suspect found dead in shooting at federal judge's home, according to the police.
Come on.
How friggin' bizarre is this entire thing?
I feel like we should probably make a Netflix documentary about this. What do you think?
I mean, forget a Netflix documentary. We need somebody like live vlogging this entire process. First of all, I said this, and I've been saying this. I can't remember if I said it on the podcast or not. She should be in the middle of Times Square in bulletproof glass, held high above, where they just drop food in on a daily basis. She has one tiny room, she got a little toilet room that nobody can see. Outside of that, we can see every bit of it. There's one
Some people are into that.
Well, some people are into that. It's just a very big website. Very, very big. And nobody's passing judgment.
I only got a few minutes left, by the way.
You got it. I'm terrified. Like they're going to get her. So anyway, so her friend went and did an interview with the Sun. This is Ghislaine Maxwell's friend that said, everyone's view, including Ghislaine's, is Epstein was murdered. She received death threats before she was arrested. Ooh. She feels like she's going to suffer the same fate as him.
Definitely. Well, I'd say she probably is going to commit suicide. September.
Why September?
She's got like 2 months in jail and see.
You think that's it? It'll just get quiet in the sense.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and a lot of people are pointing to the Clintons, and I'm not saying that it ain't them. I just think that Prince Andrew's got a lot more to lose. This feels more like that whole thing than.
Yeah, that's a little scary on that side.
Yeah, that's scarier because I feel like Clinton, it's over. Like she's over and he's over. Like almost nobody really cares about it anymore. Whereas Prince Andrew's still in. He's in there. He's in the mix.
Yep.
Still part of that royal family. I don't know. I'm terrified. I don't even like talking about it, but the fact is our last podcast with Ghislaine Maxwell did really well, so we're going to keep bringing it up. All right, if you made it this far, we appreciate you guys listening or watching so much. Thanks for doing that. AnthonyOnAir.com has all of our links and information. Remember to rate and review on Apple Podcasts and subscribe on Facebook and or YouTube. Make sure you're getting that follow notification on Facebook. Click the bell on YouTube to get notified when we put an episode live so you don't miss a second of the Anthony On Air podcast. Thank you very much, J Sabs.
Thank you.